Golf, baseball, softball, fitness, soccer, you name it, Play It Again Sports in Grand Island has got it. Stop by to buy, sell, or trade used fitness equipment. Trade in and trade up at Play It Again Sports.
Welcome to End Zone Online. I'm George Ayoub with Bobby Mills, the 1,000-yard guy. We are broadcasting from the spacious conference room at the Grand Island Independent on theindependent.com. This is another edition of End Zone Online. We're going to talk a little high school football, some results from last Friday night, take a peek ahead at this week's games and the impending playoffs starting in a couple weeks. So that's an exciting time of year as well.
Crunch time, George.
Crunch time.
Everybody will be pushing this week.
Let me look at my cheat sheet here. The local teams, the Islanders, go out to North Platte, get a 49-0 win. Lose points in the power points just because North Platte's an 0-8 team, and so
Tier 3.
Yeah, Senior High now has Lincoln High. Their last game, they won the district. They're assured a spot in the playoffs and probably a home field game, a home game, maybe the first two games. But I don't think they should overlook Lincoln High, who put a hurt on Fremont, 54-13.
Yeah, they're not too bad. I mean, they're decent. And they'll give the Islanders some trouble if they're not focused to start.
They have a good running back.
Oh boy!
And he's up about 180 yards a game.
New 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah. So that'll be the focus. I think is stopping the run game for the Lynx. The Lynx stopping that high-powered Islander offense is another story.
That can do so many things, right? So that's going to be a big problem for them. But you'll enjoy watching Johanna Shokai because he's a great runner. Shaker Baker.
Yeah, and we'll be broadcasting that game on the independent.com. We'll be on the air about 6:45 Friday night. So Northwest, in their district schedule, played a tough York team. They lost that game. 48-18, they go to 1-7. York ups their record to 7-1. Northwest is going to finish out their season against Columbus, who's also a 1-17. Think they can get that last win?
They'll have to stop the running game, and that's been their Achilles heel all year. And Columbus has a good enough quarterback where they led Aurora by 2 touchdowns at the half. So it's going to be a tough outing for Northwest, especially there.
Right, and that ball game's in Columbus. Columbus played Aurora, as you said, and was ahead at half, ended up losing 35-18.
Right.
As you said, Aurora had to come out and do some exercises at halftime.
I think they were a little red-faced, that old help me drill where you drop down and do 5 push-ups, run 10 yards, or 5 yards, I guess, and do it all the way to the 50 and back. So
got their attention.
Randy Hubert straightened about at the half. They don't want to do that again.
Right.
So
Central Catholic, in a game that we broadcast, lost to Adams Central 38-14. Crusaders go to 5-2 on the year. They ran into a buzzsaw named Buzz Niederklein.
The buzzer.
Just had a terrific game, and more about him in a little while. But out of the frying pan into a major fire as they head up to Albion to take on the #1 ranked Boone Central Newman Grove team.
Don't you wish that I bet Charlie Shoemaker wishes those games were scattered throughout the season or something, because what a way to end, and Boone is just on a roll now, and it's going to be tough for them to, they just hope they don't get anybody hurt, I would imagine.
And you were at the Boone Central Columbus Lake Youth game, and you've seen Boone Central before.
Yep.
But they're every bit as advertised.
They are. They're getting better every week. Do you ever play one of those football video games where you don't know what you're doing for the first time and your running back goes around the corner and everybody's there at once? That's what Boone Central seems like. They're just on the ball carrier, on the quarterback. Tackling is just a clinic. They just don't make mistakes. And Wyatt Mazur is unbelievable.
And a junior.
Yes, a junior. And a lot of young guys on that team. And a lot of guys on the team.
So the Crusaders have their work cut out for them. Heartland Lutheran goes to 0-7. They lose to a good Fullerton team, 83-20. They are scheduled to play Spalding Academy, losers to Giltner. Spalding Academy's 1-6. Heartland Lutheran 0-7. So. They have a shot to maybe finish off with a win.
They do. The best shot other than Cedar Valley, so we wish them the best.
Absolutely. I checked their schedule again. The teams are ranked 1, 2, and 3 based on their records.
Yeah.
Out of 7 games, they have 5 teams ranked #1.
I hope that changes next year.
It's so they've really run into some things pretty tough there. So we'll be back in a minute. We'll talk a little playoff football and some PowerPoints. We'll also have a Player of the Week after this message from Play It Again Sports. This is End Zone Online on theindependent.com.
Do you want to trade in your used fitness or sports equipment? How about sports apparel? All your answers are at Play It Again Sports in Grand Island, where you can trade in and trade up at Play It Again Sports.
Okay, we are back with End Zone Online on theindependent.com. I think I added a B there with
That's all right.
on our little outro. So playoff pictures starting to take some shape here. I thought one of the things we could do here this morning, Bobby, is talk a little bit about how the playoffs match up. So in Class A, you have 5 districts. First 2 teams get in, and then we do wild cards based on the power points.
Right, right.
Okay, so that gives them the field of 16. Islanders, as we said, are in great shape.
I think they're in good shape.
I checked this morning, their power points, they are tied for 3rd with Omaha North. North has a big game against Millard North this week. Millard North at 4-4 is 5th in the power points.
Boy, they are.
Just because of their schedule.
That's right.
So the Islanders will be heavy favorites to win Friday night, but they're not going to gain any points.
No.
So they're going to end up at 4th or 5th, right in that area, I think, with power points.
Seems like a 5th maybe, and maybe the way I have it figured, but hosting Lincoln Southwest,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
how-
playing the winner of Prep and Central. But boy, there's some games in Class A that are really tough to figure this week.
Right.
Burke and Bellevue West. You know, if it was a week ago, Senior High would have been playing Bell West, and you don't want to play them first round.
Right, no.
Not
And
what
of
they
course,
did.
yeah, and of course, we're just guessing here because
Yeah.
lots of things can happen based
Yep.
on what happens on the
Thursday and
on
Friday. will
Thursday
be
and Friday
big
night.
for-
Big,
oh.
yeah. Yeah. In Class B, of course, Northwest is not going to make the playoffs this year, but Class B, they have 8 district champs, and the next 8 highest points go. Now, in Class C1 through D2, we have lots of teams in the area that are going to be interested in this. So 10 district champions, and then the 22 next highest point.
Yep.
So this is really interesting on how to figure this. Now, Central Catholic's in a pretty good spot.
They're not-
They're 16th this morning when I checked. So right now they're not going to win the district. That's good. That's Adams Central has won that. But I think they're going to be okay.
I think they will be. Boy, I sure hope they could get into that top 8 that would host a game, but it doesn't look like it.
I don't think they'll make the top 8
No.
on that. So
Right now, it figures they'd go to Pierce, and that's one you want to stay away from.
right.
Maybe.
And they've done that before. I
Yep.
think they went to Pierce a couple of years
They
ago,
have.
and that's a tough trip to make this time of year.
It is, and that, considering the fact they beat Norfolk Catholic last week, that wouldn't be a good first-round draw.
Right,
But
so
you know,
Pierce
how
always-
about Minden, or that'd be a nice one.
Right. Playing some good football.
Yeah.
So that's how things shake out. And next week we'll be able to tell you who's matched up with whom and on the playoffs,
Can't wait.
and how we'll have Bobby Mills predictions, which are always right on.
Oh, sure.
So right now we're going to choose a player of the week, and what do you think, Buzz Niederklein?
It's the buzzer, Buzz Niederklein. You were there, 249 yards, 32 carries, must have had 4 touchdowns, or 3, I guess. One was a semi-long run,
51 yards, yeah.
Yeah, and he, as you said earlier, he can pull away from people. He is quick, and his feet are quick, but he also has the speed to break long runs.
Right.
But
Yeah,
he must have carried. I bet he carries 25 times a game.
Yeah, and you had him at
32.
Yeah, easily. And
Very durable.
One of the things about Adams Central that I think is important for viewers to note is that the other team knows what's going to happen. They know where they're going.
Like Millard North, same
They
deal.
know where they're going, and you just have to stop it. I was very impressed with Niederklein's durability. He ran hard the whole game. That there was no let up even after 30 carries. The other thing is you're right. The speed was.
You don't think he's that quick.
Yeah, he came left on that 51-yard up the west sideline, and he got a step, and I thought the Central Catholic defender had an angle. He ran right away from him.
He broke an 85-yarder against Cozad, and he pulled away from them. So it's deceivingly fast.
Adams Central, a good team. They have some other good players that very impressive. A couple of young defensive linemen I thought were really.
And that's good for the future.
Yeah, so I think Adams Central will maybe make some noise in playoffs. But our player of the week, Buzz Niederklein, we'll get him a framed certificate. We'll get it down to Adams Central High School. Congratulations to Buzz. Bobby, good to see you again.
Good
We'll
to
be
see you,
back
George.
next week. Where are you heading this weekend?
Well, I'm going to watch an old battle of rivalries, Cozad. Columbus, Lakeview, and Columbus SCOTUS Friday night, and then Aurora York, or on Thursday rather, Aurora York Friday.
Yeah, and that'll be for the district championship.
Yes, sir, over in Aurora, and that'll be a big one.
That'll be a big game as well. So, as I said, we are broadcasting Grand Island Senior High versus Lincoln High from Memorial Stadium Friday night, 6:45. Please join us on the air. For Bobby Mills, Elisa Reitz behind the camera, and George Ayoub at theindependent.com. This has been End Zone Online, brought to you by Play It Again Sports. Join us again next week.
Golf, baseball, softball, fitness, soccer, you name it, Play It Again Sports in Grand Island has got it. Stop by to buy, sell, or trade used fitness equipment. Trade in and trade up at Play It Again Sports.